Good morning students. In today's video, we will discuss about portfolio management, its meaning and process. वीडियो को स्टार्ट करने से पहले इसे लाइक, शेयर और सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें. For the present topic, you may refer the book of Dr. R.P. Rastagi and Prasanna Chandra. To begin with, first of all, the meaning of portfolio management. As you can see on your screen, the process of construction, maintenance, revision and evaluation of a portfolio is called portfolio management. Now the question arises, what is portfolio? The meaning of portfolio we have already discussed in our previous videos. Portfolio is a means of diversification which calls for investment in group of securities in order to minimize the risk. So, portfolio management is the process of construction, maintenance and revision as well as evaluation of this portfolio. Next is the objective of the portfolio management. The objective of portfolio management is to build a portfolio which gives a return commensurate with the risk preference of the investor. That is to say, the purpose of the portfolio management is to create an optimal portfolio which gives the maximum return as desired by the investor with the given level of risk. Next, we will discuss about the process of portfolio management, which comprises two main phases. Phase 1 is the determination of investment policy and strategy, which in turns assimilates 4 steps as visible on your screen. Step 2 or phase 2 is the investment implementation and review, which again comprises 4 steps. To begin with, in the first phase, the first step is specification of investment objectives and constraints. As we have discussed in earlier videos also, investor has various objectives. The main objectives which calls for maximization of return and minimizing the risk. As well as the investor needs also to specify the various constraints like the constraint of liquidity, regulations and taxes, etc. Next step in the first phase is quantification of capital market expectations. In this step, the investor decides that what asset class should be included or excluded from the portfolio, as well as investor also decides about the different weights to be assigned to these asset classes. As well as the investor also selects the different securities to be included in different asset classes. The third step is asset allocation, which will be discussed in the subsequent videos in detail. But for now, asset allocation is deciding the proportion of different assets to be included in the portfolio, the proportion of the different assets. Next step is formulation of portfolio strategy. There are basically two portfolio strategy. One is passive portfolio strategy and another one is active portfolio strategy. Passive portfolio strategy, in which the portfolio is set aside with reference to a specific single index of the market. Whereas in the active portfolio strategy, the portfolio is revised from time to time and is not benchmarked against the single portfolio index. This is the first phase. After this, the second phase starts, in which the first step is selection of securities. Selection of securities calls for the securities which are to be selected for the portfolio. For this purpose, securities are analyzed using the fundamental analysis and technical analysis, which are already been discussed in the previous videos. Fundamental analysis, we check the EIC framework, that is economy, industry and company analysis. In economy analysis, various macroeconomic variables like GDP, business cycle, inflation, interest rate, monetary policy, fiscal policy are analyzed. In industry analysis, the factors which influence the performance of the industry are analyzed, like the main factors are the past performance of the industry, as well as what are the labor and capital relationship in the industry. In the company analysis, the company profits are analyzed for checking the performance of the company. After this, the technical analysis is made, in which historical prices are checked in order to know the estimate of future prices. The next step is portfolio execution or portfolio construction. In this, the investor selects or create the portfolio out of the various portfolios available, and investor tries to select the optimal portfolio. That stands for investor tries to maximize the return while minimizing the risk with the help of diversification of creation of portfolio. Next step is portfolio evaluation, which is a continuous process, and it calls for analyzing the performance of the portfolio so that investor may know what is the return of the portfolio for the given level of risk. For this, different securities in the portfolio are analyzed for their performance. The last step is portfolio revision. In the light of the previous step, that is the portfolio evaluation, that is on the basis of checking of the performance of the securities of the portfolio is revised from time to time. The good performing securities are continued or added upon in the portfolio, whereas the securities which are not doing well in the terms of providing returns, they are abandoned from the portfolio. So this is the process of the portfolio management. Thank you.